Welcome to the DIY Try or Buy podcast with Yiesha and Mee Hee.
We've created a space where listeners and viewers can explore beyond their comfort zone. We'll be engaging in discussions and tackling DIY projects.
We'll also try new things and buy new quality products that will enhance your way of life. So please subscribe, like, and share, and join us every Thursday for the podcast you didn't know you needed. Welcome to our second episode where we talk about, what are we talking about?
What to expect.
What to expect. So our first episode, hopefully you all were able to get to know us, to learn a little bit about us, how we identify ourselves outside of labels, but who we really are as people. And so this episode, we're really going to share our framework of how we're going to conduct our podcast and give you a little insight of what's to come.
So we've kind of broke the episodes up into 4 sections to kind of make sure that you are engaged with us and we move through some of our topics, our discussions, and we will have future guests. You're going to see some guests throughout different episodes and explore different places. It's pretty much the format and lots of discussions. I think we're going to definitely try some different locations we have both not been to, and then try DIYing some things we definitely are going to be outside of our comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. Don't let Mee Hee fool you. We have actually done some things already, and we will share with you today, once we go over our framework, some of the things that are up for our next episodes. So as far as the framework, we're both foodies, and you'll find that out very quickly. Our episodes are broken up into 4 categories. The first one is appetizers. The second one is the full course. The third one is our desserts. And then we have the fourth one, which will be our nightcap. So that's how we'll break up each one. It probably doesn't, matter to you how we're doing it, but those are the way that we're breaking up our segments as we talk about DIY projects, trying new things, or sharing with you different services or products.
Yeah. So a couple of episodes we do want to share that are upcoming is one that I wasn't really sure if I really wanted to do. And it's actually Mee Hee turns 40, because it is here. It is definitely on its way. Something I don't think normal, I don't know. What is normal about turning 40? It's just something that happens. Those of us that get to 40.
Right.
I have been reading a lot on articles that you don't even know yourself until you're 40. So, hey, there's that, right? Mm-hmm. I know myself much better than from my 20s and 30s. So you be sure to tune into that one because there's a couple of great things that we'll showcase there.
And she's turning 40 and I'm 45. So trust me, I have given her the wisdom that I know, and I'll share some of that wisdom as I think we talked about going from our 20s to our 30s, and now that you're approaching 40, I then share with her all the wonderful things to expect when you are in your 40s. So that's going to be a fun episode. And then the other one I'm so excited about, which is episode 3, Mee Hee attends my church. Now, I have not joined yet, but I visit quite frequently. I have made the decision to join, but just haven't done that yet. But I took Mee Hee with me on a Sunday morning, and we're going to share what that experience was like. It was very interesting, would you say?
Yeah, we don't want to put too much out there, but it was absolutely an experience, and I'll share a little deeper in that episode. Just my experience with religion, church, growing up as part of my community, and the overall experience of joining Yiesha at church. There's not very much prep work because I really wanted to take it fully. without any true expectations other than time. She did prep me.
Okay, so if any of you guys know or have been to a black church per se, if you ever want to invite somebody that's not in the culture or has never been to a black church, I usually don't give any like details as to what to expect, because again, I think so many times with YouTube, people try to gain followers by making church very performative, and it makes it a joke. And so for me, it's very important to me, and I didn't want that at all. I wanted her to experience God and what I experienced, as far as relationship for herself. But the only thing I told her was that church, because I went to Catholic school and we weren't in church for a long period of time, but I did tell her in the car, and I think we'll show that segment when we taped it in the car to church, that she might have to pack a lunch, because church may be a little longer than what she would expect. But that's the only thing I told her. That's the only caveat, pack some snacks. But other than that, my goal was for her to experience, the God that I serve, and for her to, if at all, gain a connection. So that's the only thing I told her.
So stay tuned for that upcoming episode 3. You'll also see us going to an international market together. So many things you can actually really learn in an international market. We're foodies. We love to cook at home. We both have sons, so that's a big piece of our lives, but we haven't gone together. No. I think the one that I frequent, Aisha has not been to, so you'll see our adventure kind of in the store, understanding layout in different countries and staples that then we can infuse into the different types of meals that we cook for our families.
Yeah, and I'm excited too, because I lived in Atlanta for a number of years. I went to culinary school, so for me, and I also used to be a shopper for a culinary class. So I was able to experience international markets, but I have never experienced the international market here in Indiana. And I've never experienced Mee Hee's cooking. So this will be, we've eaten together. We've been to restaurants, but I've never eaten her food. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you tune in for that episode where we visit this market and actually try some of that amazing food.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And one you'll see is also we'll attend I don't know if this is a thing. This is a new thing. There are these smash rooms that you rent out for a specific time. And they have, I've seen videos, TVs, just whatever things. And you take a bat and you just take your frustrations out in this smash room. So you'll get to see a little clip of us attending that, our experience, probably I feel like the gear that we have to wear, and so you'll kind of come along with us for those types of adventures.
So why are we smashing things, Mee Hee? Like
release some tension. You got some stress? Everybody has some stress every now and then, just to release it. And there's something about smashing somebody else's stuff. You got to pay to get in, but it's not your TV you're smashing.
Yeah, and I do. I've been through a lot this past year, so I feel like I need to tear up some stuff. So that's going to be fun. Another great thing that we're going to do for exercise purposes is we're thinking outside the box, right? We've both done yoga. We've both done weightlifting. We've both gone to different gyms, but we're going to do some pole dancing.
Again, I'm shaking my head, but this is about living outside of your comfort zone. Let me tell you, that is outside.
We ain't trying to make it rain. We ain't trying to do nothing for dollars. We're not. It's just core exercises, we need to work on. As Felix showed me my body in these shots, it has encouraged me to try different exercises to get in shape. So we're taking a pole dancing class, and I'm so excited to schedule that with you to see how that's going to go.
I'm sure you are excited. I'm sure you are. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. That's going to be a fun one.
But I think we've shared quite a bit as far as, what to expect. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know we had discussed one of our episodes was talking about the experiences that we have between cultures. So for example, one of the things or the questions that I had as we were starting to prepare for our podcast was my experience at a beauty supply store. And can you kind of share the background of your beauty supply?
Absolutely. So my dad, I kind of call him an entrepreneur. He's done a lot of work in different industries, different positions, and he worked for most of the later part of his career until he's now officially retired. But he's worked in beauty supply stores, kind of supporting from a management level, never owning a beauty supply store, but he's going to be Mr. Kim running that cash register, stocking, right? And he used to also do hair. So I've learned a lot from his perspective of working on the beauty supply industry. But there's definitely some things about, Asian American people owning beauty supply store, serving predominantly Black Americans with, hair products, any products, and why is that?
Right, and I'm from Detroit, and so in the inner city, and so I would frequent a lot of the beauty supply places and our restaurants there in the city. And then we had some experiences that I want to talk about, and I got questions. So just an example of some of the things that we will share. So that's going to be a very interesting episode that we definitely want to field questions from our viewers and things that they want to ask. Again, we can't represent both of our cultures, by just being individuals, but we definitely can shed some light on some different issues and things that, we have questions about. So, yeah.
And one thing that, as Yiesha and I met, we're both very passionate about diversity, equity, inclusion, and access. And so you will see that we will do some reviews on businesses that we frequent and look at really from that lens. And we have some things developed from a scale standpoint of, what are some things, if we're going to review or go into a space and really understand how that space was designed and who it was meant to serve and what community, what can you all look for as well and know of in different areas. So we will kind of share that in a lens of a little rating system that we're going to look at each space really from an inclusive lens. Because we really support our local small businesses and businesses in general to make sure that they're accessible to as many people that can be served.
And so just to piggyback off of what Mee Hee said, we want to give a spotlight to all of the different products that are sourced locally, small businesses, and it's not just restaurants, but it's also products. So for example, I have a shirt on here that is a woman-owned business, and we want to be able to showcase a lot of the products that we love. And I think we have a few here already. We have a pillow right there.
We do.
You want to talk about the pillow real quick?
Yes, this is from one of my favorite colleagues, designers, artists, Shantae Lewis. She's a local artist, and this was actually featured in our area. We have grocery stores called Meijer. They're not everywhere, but her art was featured recently for Black History Month. And so I partook in supporting her in this venture. So we're really excited to highlight some great people, some great
artists,
business owners, artists.
So again, products, we will review restaurants, and again, not just looking at what we want to see as customers, but we want you to change your mindset as when you go into restaurants, not just looking at it from a lens of yourself, but like Mee Hee said, looking at it from an inclusion lens. So it's going to be very interesting what we find, and hopefully we can shed some light on things that can be improved or things that you would like to see at your local restaurants or establishments. So one thing that we creatively thought of is actually when we do these ratings for restaurants, we have microphone checks, right? So we're a podcast. We have microphones that you cannot see, and we have our little mics here. But for example, when we review a certain restaurant, if we really like it, we're going to do a microphone check 1, 2, 3. Or if it's really bad, that'll be on Patreon. This platform for YouTube, we're going to keep it extremely positive. But as we move over to our hot mic sessions, right? it's going to get real. We're going to have, you won't see the coffee cups. We'll probably have a glass of wine or some bourbon, and we'll really share with you our thoughts on DEIY. We'll keep it 100. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
So we'll have microphone check. Hopefully, Felix can help us out with the emojis on our mics of what, our rating system. Is it a mic, one mic, or is it two, or is it three? So that's going to be really fun. Again, we're doing this organically. We don't have a huge budget to do all this. So as we grow, hopefully our audience will grow with us. So I think that's all we have for episode 2.
Yeah.
So please join us for episode 3 and all the other episodes that we'll have in store for you. But we thank you for watching. And again, like, share, and subscribe, and tell all your friends about this wonderful podcast that you didn't know you needed. Thanks.